First Local, supported by Maker North, 3D printing, laser cutting, 3D design, education, prototyping, and more. Maker North, whatever it takes. Shop local, dine local, listen local, love local. Small businesses in the Algoma area have been a huge part of our community. Now is the time to show our support for them, from local markets to retail stores, music venues, and restaurants. Small businesses make up the backbone of our community. So go on, embrace all they have to offer by shopping, dining, listening, and loving local. Visit ssmcoc.com to learn more or to join the Chamber today.
Well, it's certainly been an interesting year. And like many of us, maybe you've been drinking more than usual and want to take a break. With Dry Feb, you can.
Why not challenge yourself to go dry in February to help raise funds for the Canadian Cancer Society?
Sign up for Dry Feb, and not only will you be helping people affected by cancer,
you can also reduce your risk of cancer.
Go as dry as you're willing to try this February. Sign up today. It's easier than you think.
Superior Adult Learning is looking for volunteers who want to make a difference in our community and help others reach their full potential. In only a few hours a week, you can help our learners achieve their goals and set them on a path towards a successful, independent future. Visit www.superioral.ca to get started now. Superior Adult Learning provides free one-on-one support to help you reach your goals. Improve your reading, writing, and math skills, become more independent, and increase your employability. Visit www.superioral.ca to get started now.
Have you been drinking more than usual?
Why not go dry this February? With Dry Feb, you'll
help people affected by cancer.
And you can also reduce your own risk.
Go as dry as you're willing to try. Sign up today. It's easier than you think.
It's Jake Moore, sports analyst, back in the On TV studios, letting you know that 705 Sports now has 2 shows a week. We still have the 705 Sports that airs every Friday at noon, but we've expanded to now have a show every Wednesday. 705 Sports Headlines will be a show that is much more condensed, that is very fast-paced, going over the main topics of the week in sports. 705 Sports on Fridays will still cover everything in sports in a full show format. This gives you a chance to really see what's going on in the sports world, whether you have a couple minutes or you got a half an hour. So make sure you join me, Dan Gray, on Fridays and multiple different guests every Wednesday, every Friday at noon, only on TV and Sue Online's Facebook page.
Good morning and welcome to Friday. It is First Local, March the 11th.
Oh.
My sister just sent me a super funny meme, so pardon me, I can't share it because there is some measure of profanity, but good one, Tamarack, awesome.
Hey, you know what today is? Today is the actual anniversary of when the coronavirus shut down Canada.
Oh!
We had our first death in BC a year ago.
Wow.
And then the lockdown started and everything started.
2 weeks to flatten the curve.
Yeah, 2 weeks, and here we are, 2 years. And we're saying goodbye.
If by 2 weeks you meant 2 years, well done.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Okay, well there's a factoid right off the hop. Everybody's going to get...
And we also, in case you don't know, right, we have the time change coming this Sunday.
So
we lose an hour.
We lose an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that a drag?
Well,
At least it happens on the weekend, and they don't
I
do
thought
it on
we were
Monday.
getting rid of it. Like we were waiting
I
for
think they're in the
Quebec
process
or
of-
New York, like one or the other, one of
Yeah.
our major trading business counterparts.
Yeah, I think they're in the process of doing it. They just haven't quite done it yet.
Quite a process.
Hurry up and do
apparently.
it, because I think it's stupid.
Well,
This
yeah,
time
this
change.
flip-flop thing. Why was it brought into be?
Something. Oh, can someone help us out here?
Well,
something to do long time ago with trains and farming and giving
Why?
more
Daylight.
daylight for the farms or something.
Many people are asking. It populates immediately. The real reason for daylight saving, the real reasons for daylight saving are based around energy conservation and a desire to match daylight hours to the times when most people are awake. The idea dates back to 1895 when entomologist George Vernon Hudson unsuccessfully proposed an annual 2-hour time shift to the Royal Society of New Zealand. Well, way to go, Hudson.
We're still stuck with it.
I know.
Darn. All right. What else are we talking about?
Well, we have to kind of keep our finger on the pulse of what's happening, of course, with regards to the Ukraine and the Russian invasion. So now, for the past 24 years, it is said that the U.S. and Russia have worked together to construct and maintain the International Space Station, right, ISS, where research has led to some of the most important discoveries of the 21st century. Now, 227 miles below the unrivaled laboratory, Russia has waged a war in Ukraine, right, which is what we've been talking about, that's pitted the country against the U.S. and its allies, leaving the future of the ISS in question. So the ISS, if you don't know, is divided actually into two sections.
Yeah.
The Russian, you knew that?
Yep.
Oh, wow. You're so awesome. The Russian orbital segment operated by Russia and the United States orbital segment run by the U.S., American, and Russian astronauts. Okay, and all right, the partnership has continued. What's that?
No, go on.
Partnership has continued. The U.S. shuttle program ended in 2011. U.S. astronauts like Katie Coleman relied exclusively on Russian rockets to get her on board the station. Coleman said once on board the craft, where you came from didn't matter. It was all about how you work and live with one another. Okay. Now it's being said that Russia is threatening to abandon the American astronaut in space.
Yes.
In response to mounting sanctions.
So it's spreading to space.
Brutal.
And so who knows what's going to happen there. And of
Good
course the battle
heavens.
continues
Wow.
on land.
Holy.
It's just getting more and more intense with each passing day. So
Well, and you think of the sheer level of evil creativity. Like, what can I do next to cause maximal?
Well, here's an interesting point. I was watching last night. Someone said, "What does Putin have to lose now? The entire world is against him, right? So he's turning into this evil character that he doesn't really care now. Like, I don't care. Like the rest of the world hates me, so I'm going to continue my invasion into Europe. Who's going to stop me, right? That's was said last night, and it's kind of true too. The whole world is against him. So what do? I'll do whatever I want to do.
Wow.
Kind of reminds me of
We have a
Dr.
lot more
Evil.
news coming up too, and also
Dr.
some
Evil, yeah.
really, really good news in the weather. You're gonna.
Staring intently into my eyes.
You're gonna
really,
like
really
what we
good
have.
news. Did you hear anecdotally? I've been told, now this is yet unconfirmed, can I say this?
What?
That the lock tours are going to resume.
Oh, yes.
There's rumored to be the purchase of a party boat. It's coming from Toronto.
She's got tickets already. I
I
know.
probably partied on that boat in Toronto. Woot, woot. So yeah, a little
So
bit
we'll
of
have to do the show on the party boat when it gets here.
Yes.
But in the meantime,
yes.
we're going to do news, and then I'll tell you some good news on weather coming up.
Okay. All right, so big story did kind of hit yesterday. It didn't kind of, it was a big story and it hit yesterday. Near the bottom, okay, so the Ontario government did make an announcement, around the masking mandates ending on the 21st. And as part of that announcement, there was a background document. And all the way near the bottom, what could be perceived as an admission of guilt by the government. So the quote is, the data from other jurisdictions suggested that with the very high Omicron case counts, this is interesting, some people with COVID-19 infection were dying from causes unrelated to their COVID-19 infection. This necessitated a review of the pandemic, including whether COVID-19 was causing or was contributing to the death of individuals. So as a result then of this review, it was found that 4.8% of the reported deaths in the province blamed on COVID were not actually because of COVID. The number went as high as 8% during the most recent experience with the Omicron strain. Added to that is a category between COVID-caused deaths and non-COVID-caused deaths called deaths due to chronic or other pre-existing conditions that were exacerbated by COVID-19. So between 10% and 20% of the deaths, depending on which wave we're looking at, fell into the latter category. There was also a category that states a cause of death unknown or missing, which was also added to the death count. So this category then, is found to account for nearly 10% of the known recorded deaths. So as of March 6, 2022, factoring in all of the adjustments, the Ministry of Health calculates that only about 84% of the deaths which have currently been attributed to COVID were caused by or related to COVID. So there you go. And and that was rumored. There were a lot of people talking about that and speculating about that, but now we actually have data to quantify this. So if we take the number then and we bring it down to the local level, apply it to the deaths reported in the Algoma region, the death number then would drop from the current toll of 38 down to 32 people who passed away as a result of COVID-19. So this has been apparently an ask on behalf of several doctors for some time. And one doctor down in Toronto did say it's helpful to have accurate information regarding mortality data. This is coming from Dr. Martha Fulford, who's a pediatric infection diseases physician who has treated COVID patients and is an associate professor at McMaster University. She went on to say that it's also important to have this data broken down by age, as this is one of the most important risk factors for a poor outcome. Dr. Fulford would like to see more granular data in Ontario, such as Alberta provides. She went on to say, as we move forward, we should also continue to document other risk factors that are associated with a poorer outcome, such as obesity, poorly controlled diabetes. So in Alberta then, where they also disclose comorbidity data, it was revealed that only about 4% of COVID deaths were in individuals who didn't have at least one underlying condition. I'm going to say that again. Only about 4% of COVID deaths were in individuals who didn't have at least one underlying condition. So the province of Ontario then is working to prevent any more confusion. They will be making changes to the way everything is reported starting today. In addition to reporting the total number of deaths, we will begin reporting daily net changes to the number of COVID-19 deaths reported day over day, broken out into 3 fatality types, and this was a document that was released. We will no longer report deaths if the record indicates that COVID-19 was unrelated to the cause of death. This will cause a decrease in the total number of deaths, so we will continue then to bring you information on this, and if this trickles down to the Algoma Public Health level, obviously we're going to report to you on that as well. Now, I went through that almost as fast as I could because I can't wait to get the good news. Craig, hit me. Yeah.
Well, before we get to the good news, we have a little bit of bad news to tell you. But today, what's going on here, Mike?
That's not bad news. That's good news. That's emergency services.
That is bad news.
Yay.
But we're looking at a beautiful, nice, sunny day right now.
Okay.
It's a little bit on the cold side, as you know. It is kind of cold this morning. We are going to bump those temperatures up later on this afternoon, but we also have a little bit of a system coming in. Right now, it's looking pretty outside. We have some nice clear roads. We may get rid of those later on tonight. Let's take a look at your 12-hour forecast. This is what we look like for today. The winds are going to start picking up from the southeast first, and that's going to help bump our temperatures up to about -4, -2. Then they're going to switch around towards the west-northwest, and that could give us a chance of lake effect snow squalls and some strong winds later on this afternoon into your evening mostly. Not anticipating a lot of snow, only 2 to 4 centimeters, but it is going to be blowing around. It's going to look a lot worse than it actually is. And then that sets us up for the weekend. We have another couple of systems coming in. We could see a little more snow. No major amounts of snow coming. Still going to feel like winter on Saturday and Sunday, but we are going to start to bump our temperatures up on Sunday, and then we continue to climb up for the rest of the week. And I'll give you those details coming up in just a bit. Heidi?
I just wish you didn't always preface the good news with bad news.
Got to do that.
I think you have to actually...
There's got to be a balance.
I think you need to warn me that you're going to do that. I get all elevated. I get excited. Okay. Anyway, it's coming. It's coming. We are also coming up on a break, so I'm going to invite you to fill your cup, listen to the words of our sponsors. We've got Maker North actively solving problems in the local and international community. We have the Chamber inviting us to love local, shop local, eat local, play local, do all the local things, and support our business community in this time of recovery. When we come back, what do I have for you? We're going to talk about how emergency services is working to sort of mitigate the high fuel prices. We're going to talk about the potential of the border restrictions being dropped. So you know what? Yeah, go fill your cup. Come on back. Superior Adult Learning provides free one-on-one support to help you reach your goals. Improve your reading, writing, and math skills, become more independent, and increase your employability. Visit www.superioral.ca to get started now. Shop local, dine local, listen local, love local. Small businesses in the Algoma area have been a huge part of our community. Now is the time to show our support for them, from local markets to retail stores, music venues, and restaurants. Small businesses make up the backbone of our community. So go on, embrace all they have to offer by shopping, dining, listening, and loving local. Visit ssmcoc.com to learn more or to join the Chamber today. Good morning and welcome back to First Local. Today is March the 11th. We got daylight savings happening, so Sunday night before you go to bed, remember to set your clocks forward so you can have, 1 hour sucked out of your available time. Okay, I promised you we'd talk a little bit more about the gas prices. We did note that they were down today. Some speculate that so that they can go right back up again. All right. Now, we have to consider then services locally that are funded to provide emergency services. So with the rising cost of fuel for everyone, we're looking at multiple impacts, right? So, groceries have gone up, gas has gone up, everything's going up. And now the emergency services we pay for in our city burn a significant amount of fuel in their day-to-day operations. So our reporter Dan Gray did reach out to all the departments to see if there were anything that they were working on proactively, to mitigate the extra spending on the fuel. So of course, Sault Police Services Communication Managers Lincoln Loudit provided a statement promptly. When we budget for fuel costs, we forecast the costs using as much information as available to us. However, there are circumstances out of our control which may result in costs increasing, stated Loudit. In cases such as this, we will look to other areas of our budget to mitigate the potential overage. So now, the fuel is part of the police budget, which isn't usually made available to the public, so we didn't have an amount given for how much they spend on fuel per year. Paramedic services in Sault Ste. Marie is operated by DSAB. So CEO Mike Nadeau then was able to speak to the budget and lack of available options or the service to cut costs on fuel. So Nadeau did provide this statement. As you are aware, our paramedic service operates on a dispatch transport model that responds as needed within the service area. The 2022 paramedic service budget allocated $114,600 for fuel. Management is concerned about the rapid increase in fuel prices. However, there are limited mitigation strategies specific to this budget line that we can implement other than to continue to attempt to secure the lowest cost source alternative. Fire Services spreads its fuel costs out among different parts of the budget, operation, and inspections. Fire Services Public Relations Officer Aaron Gravel was able to provide a little bit more detail about what the various divisions do. So he did say, "You are correct. An emergency services such as Sault Fire Department is a dispatched-based essential service. We cannot control the incoming call volume, and this in turn does make fuel savings difficult. So at this time, the Operations Division has not made changes to the emergency response or training due to the cost of fuel. We continuously reevaluate to provide the highest level of service to the community in the most efficient manner possible. So as for our Inspections Division, inspections and all other functions that the FPOs perform are essential. Therefore, cars have to roll, no different than police, EMS, and or operations. Cost saving then is found through bunching locations. However, that option is virtually non-existent as inspectors tend to work in 4 different geographical locations. That said, occasionally the inspectors do double up on certain inspections performed throughout the year when more than one set of eyes is required, such as fire drills, vulnerable occupancies, primary and secondary schools, as well as some industries. So these cost-cutting measures then are cost-cutting measures have always been in place by default prior to the current escalating fuel costs. He went on to say that Sault Fire Services remains committed to provide effective and efficient emergency service in a caring manner to create a safe community within Sault Ste. Marie. We are constantly monitoring outside situations and evaluating our efficiency as a service. Seeing as these fuel hikes are more of a recent issue, we will continue to monitor and evaluate as the circumstances continue. Okay, so monitoring, evaluating, watching carefully. What's going on with the hounds, Jacob?
I swear, every time you throw to me, it is getting just sharper and sharper, and I'm hoping the Hounds play as sharp tonight as that throw to me. So, the Greyhounds are battling the Kitchener Rangers tonight at home for a mini 2-game homestand back-to-back games tonight and Saturday night. The standings are still extremely tight in the West between the Greyhounds currently are in 4th of 65 points, while the London Knights and Windsor Spitfires are both tied for 2nd with 66, and then Flint at the top of 70. So Heidi, as you can tell by that, it is still anyone's game on who realistically can still get first in the West. So for the Greyhounds, after that bit of a rough road trip, they're looking to win both these games at home. If they can win both these games at home, puts them in a much better situation moving forward, and they really got to win these games against the teams that they are lower in the standings than, as we've talked about before. And obviously, they need to start on time. We have seen this time and time and again. It's a lot of time all season where the Greyhounds start right away, they get the ball rolling or get the puck sliding, and then they're able to really take that momentum and build it into a win. They're going to need to do that this weekend in general, and I'm going to say this because I'm a Leaf fan. Hopefully their goaltending is better than Peter Mrazek was last night for the Maple Leafs. But I'll have more of that at noon today, and more on the Greyhounds at noon today with 705 Sports.
Well, thanks for that, Jacob. I like how you always weave the Leafs in there.
I
Like,
have to, though. It's like, I don't have a choice. When you lose to Arizona, Heidi, okay? Arizona. Do you
Well-
picture desert and hockey together?
I think it's precious that people can continue to be disappointed that the Leafs lose.
I will be disappointed. I will always be a Leaf fan. It's not going away.
Precious.
Let me be
Okay.
delusional.
Yes, well, okay. Hey, you know what? Another feel-good story. Members of the U.S. Coast Guard Station Sault Ste. Marie and Air Station Traverse City rescued a man stranded on an ice floe on Lake Superior on March 8th. A 55-year-old man called the Coast Guard to report that he was stranded on an ice floe approximately 3 miles east of Point Abbé off the Keweenaw Peninsula. So the Coast Guard then coordinated with Negaunee Dispatch to locate the GPS position produced from the man's 911 call. The Coast Guard 9th District launched an MH helicopter from Air Station Traverse City. The crew of the MH-60 immediately located the man and hoisted him safely into the helicopter, where the rescue swimmer conducted a health assessment. The man was taken to Houghton County Memorial Airport for evaluation by awaiting medical emergency service personnel. No injuries were reported. So, you know, and always an effective use of technology when it comes to rescuing somebody stranded on an ice floe. So excellent. We are going to hop on over to Craig now for the 3 days. See, I got it right this time, Mike. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Well, Heidi, today is looking pretty nice, of course. We just talked about that a little while ago. Going to see mainly sunny skies today, just a little bit on the cold side, but we do have some activity heading our way later on this afternoon. It's courtesy of this little low pressure system here. A small little clipper just going to race in, maybe dump a little bit of snow, but most of our snow threat tonight comes from lake effect snow squalls of this cold front as it sweeps through. So the winds are going to shift towards the northwest, and that's going to give us a chance of snow squalls for later on tonight. Some blowing snow definitely for sure. We'll take a look at the satellite and we can show you just where that system is right now. It's right here. It's going to race in sometime later on this afternoon. We're going to start seeing the clouds fill in and then the snow showers start. Now, most of the snow from this system will not affect us. That's going to actually play a big part in eastern Ontario, where it's going to pick up some more moisture. So they're in for a dumping of snow. We're just going to see maybe 2 to 4 centimeters, but it is going to be windy. Let's take a look at the temperatures for today. Not bad. We could actually hit -2 later on this afternoon before that cold front hits. -6 in Wawa, -9 in Timmins, and -5 in Sudbury. This is what we look like on radar. Really nothing to show you. Nothing's coming our way for the next 6 hours or so, and then we're going to start seeing the clouds and maybe that snow come in. This is what we look like for next week. Really good news. We're actually going to start to warm up starting Sunday, actually, and we could bump these temperatures up to about 5 or 6 degrees by this time next week. So there is some really good news. Some cold air sinking towards the west, warm air in the east. So that's good news. This is what we look like for the next 3 days, though. We're going to see -4 to -2 for our high today. Winds are going to start to pick up from the southeast and then switch around towards the north. We have a mix of sun and cloud, mainly sunny today. Then those clouds fill in. For Saturday, we have another little system coming in. Again, could give us just a little bit of snow. For the most part, we're going to be mainly a mix of sun and cloud. Temperature still on the cold side at -7. Then we start to warm up for Sunday, but we have another little system coming in, and we could see another 2 to 4 centimeters from this system. Temperatures, though, at the freezing mark, and then we start to bump those temperatures up for the 7-day forecast. I'll give you all those details coming up at the end of the show. Right now, let's send it right back to Heidi.
Well, good news. Yay. A little bit more good news. We're going to take a break from hearing my voice, and you're going to go into the world of our sponsors one more time. Superior Adult Learning, inviting you all to set some adult literacy goals. And you know what? The reminder that the government no longer, because it is a government-funded agency, they no longer consider literacy to just be attached to math or reading. Let's say you wanted to get better at using your iPad or your iPhone or your Android device. The good people, Wendy and Pat at Superior Adult Learning, are happy to help you with that. So do give them a call. When we come back, of course, factoids, social media. We want to talk about whether or not the border restrictions are going to be dropped. Talk about the Rotary Algoma Science Fair going virtual. So fill your cup and come on back. Superior Adult Learning is looking for volunteers who want to make a difference in our community and help others reach their full potential. In only a few hours a week, you can help our learners achieve their goals and set them on a path towards a successful, independent future. Visit www.superioral.ca to get started now.
École publique Éco des Rapides, a place where your child can learn, grow, and be happy. Discover why more and more families are choosing École publique Éco des Rapides for their child. Register your child January 17th to the 21st at epedr.cspgno.ca. Parce que je vois grand.
Good morning and welcome back. So as promised, I want to talk to you about, because with everything being dropped, there are still some restrictions that are lingering at the border that are preventing, people on this side from going over and accessing amenities that are less expensive on the U.S. side. Some of the citizens in the U.S. want to come over here. Don Jerry, their mayor, has suggested that some people really like coming over here and hanging out. They don't have a theater anymore, so they like to come over here and watch movies and do things. So we did, let me see here, residents of Sault Ste. Marie on both sides have been asking Sue online through social media platforms. Also, some emails have come in. When will the border restrictions be dropped and we won't require the testing anymore? Because I think that's an impediment right now for a lot of people, is the testing to come back in. So Mike, who chose to remain anonymous, who frequently goes over for day trips to Michigan for groceries, gas, and other things, again, other things that are less expensive on the U.S. side, he wasn't even really looking for all the restrictions to be dropped. He just is hoping that some exemptions can just be put back in place, which I think is a reasonable ask. And he got specific. When will the Canadian government even put back the 72-hour exemption so we can go over for like a day? And this was, of course, in casual conversation with our reporter. There is a store over there that I like to go to. A lot of bargains on everything. The gas is cheaper too. So we then take the question from the resident and we flip it and we ask the representatives that would bring us the answers. So the question has been posed both to MP Terry Sheehan as well as the Public Health Agency of Canada. Terry noted that his government's priority has always been to keep Canadians safe. In his statement, he says, since the beginning of the pandemic, our government's focus has been the health and safety of Canadians by following the latest science. The most recent data indicates that the Omicron wave has passed its peak. So in Canada, allowing us to move towards a more long-term approach to managing COVID-19. This transition, including the easing of border measures, is possible because of a number of factors, including our high vaccination rates and the increasing availability of rapid tests and treatments. And we have said all along, Canada's border measures will remain flexible and adaptable, guided by science and prudence. Well, that's a strong combination, science and prudence. Good. While we are in a better position today than we were previously, this pandemic is not over, and we must be prepared for any future scenarios. The Government of Canada will continue to assess the evolving situation at home and globally, monitor case data, and adjust border measures as required to protect the health and safety of Canadians. And we also did get a quote, once again, Previously, in another report that we brought to you from the Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan Mayor Don Jerry, he did, again, there's that call for, it would open up opportunities for families and friends to get together again. I have family over there that I haven't seen in almost 3 years. Come on. Okay, it would allow for cross-border trade, both Canadians coming over here and shopping here and U.S. residents going over to Canada to enjoy your amenities. Again, there's that thing about the theater. We don't have a theater here. Some people like to go over there. There are different experiences that people like to take part in, and we have friends on both sides of the river. Now, the statement from Health Canada and the Public Health Agency really flies in support of what Terry had to say. More or less the same message. So if you want to read it in its entirety, please do go to our website at SiouxOnline.com. Have a look. So we can be hopeful. I was going to say something funny, but it's gone now. So maybe it wasn't that funny.
It'll come back.
Maybe, but it won't be relevant anymore because I was I was on a roll and I had something pithy to say, but
Don't
whatever.
you hate that when that happens?
Yes, factoid time. Oh my
factoid.
gosh, oh my gosh. So much pressure. Okay, well then let's talk about something, I tend to always go far back. We'll come to something a little bit more recent. So it was on this day in 2015, March 11th, 2015, a jury in the United States ruled that the writers of Blurred Lines copied a Marvin Gaye track. Okay, jurors in Los Angeles decided that the 2013 single by Tamarack, you're going to kill me. Pharrell Williams and Robin Thicke breached the copyright of Gaye's 1977 hit, Got to Give It Up. The family of the late soul singer were awarded $7.3 million in damages. Thicke and Williams denied copying the hit, and their lawyers said the ruling set a horrible precedent. All right. Well,
there you go.
There you go. Don't copy. Don't break copyright. Don't, if you're going to make music, make music. Come on.
Make your own music.
That's right. All right, so social media. I'm not allowed to do my second factoid. I want it on record that I had one ready, but I am being denied. So, yeah, I know, right? Okay, this morning we have a new winner. We have Tony Mancuso beating everybody to the punch. TGIF. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Well, yes. Thank goodness it is Friday. What?
Nothing.
Nothing. Tra-da-da.
Carry
Nothing
on.
to see here. Okay. All right. So happy weekend to you, Tony. Always nice to hear from you. Enika. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday and have a great weekend. You too, Enika.
You too.
Like to hear from you all the time. Terry Matthews. Good morning, Heidi and Craig. Good morning, Terry Matthews. I hope you have a great weekend. I know you're a Leafs fan, so let's hope that there's good news. I don't even know if they're playing this weekend. So Sunday. Okay, well, fingers crossed.
Outdoors.
In Hamilton. Okay. Hamilton has an NHL team?
No, they're just playing in.
Why?
It's just an exact.
Okay. 7:05 Sports, more on that at noon. Jacob's got all the details. All right. Margaret McKegg, good morning all. Good morning, Margaret.
Good morning.
Judy O'Neill, good morning. Happy Friday. Hope you
too.
both have an awesome weekend. I think it's going to be an all right weekend, actually. Yeah.
bit.
So, Destiny Kerr, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Good morning, Destiny. Happy Friday to you. Marilyn Dunn, good morning, everyone. Today is Friday. Yay. Have a great weekend. You too. Ooh, new viewer, Gina Keene.
Ooh.
Okay, now that's a great name. I'm Gina Keene. Fantastic.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for commenting and watching. Yes, good morning to the both of you. Good morning to you, Gina. Bradley Evoy, good morning. Hope you all have a great weekend. Brad, I hope you have a great weekend as well. Doing the good work at the steel plant. I don't know if you work on the weekends, but if you don't, have a good one. Terry Wilson, good morning, Craig and Heidi. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Good morning, Terry. You also have a good weekend. Kathy Boren, yay, it's Friday. Hope everyone has a great week, or a great day and a wonderful weekend. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. What are you doing this weekend?
I'm not sure what I'm doing yet.
Okay. Well, you'll be
Laundry for sure.
prancing smartly with your puppy.
Yes, do that.
Bradley Evoy, there was a safety meeting at work today. They asked me, what steps would you take in the event of a fire? Apparently, giant steps was the wrong answer. Okay, Steve Childs, in an impressive effort to break my brain. GFMAHYHAGW, the sun coming up between two great huge tracts of land, rocking the horns. Good Friday morning, all. Hope you have a great weekend.
Yay.
Yes. Okay. Rick Sutherland, good morning, all. Happy Friday. LOL. That was the longest 2 weeks ever. Let's make the best of today and work for a better tomorrow. Have a great day. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks marking what?
I'm not quite sure. Is
Oh,
it the
maybe.
weather?
Oh, might be just March, the first 2 weeks of March.
First 2 weeks of March.
Yes.
Like I said
yes.
yesterday, March is like a long month.
February was a long month. January was a long month. Like, my goodness. Holy. All right. Yes, let's have a great day and work for a better tomorrow. Well said, Rick. Kimberly Seabrook, good morning, all. Happy Friday. Go Hounds Go. Yes, go Hounds Go. Tracy Faye, good morning. The sun is shining, so I'm singing Sunshine of Your Love. LOL. Yes. I'm not going to sing that, though. I hope. No. No.
Monday.
No.
No?
No. Marilyn Dunn. Arr, my car clock will be out by an hour for the second time. I'll tackle it. Maybe. LOL. Well, you know, even a broken clock is right at least twice a day.
That's
so. Right. There we go. All right. Joseph Bertrand. Have a wonderful day, everyone. You too, Joseph.
You too.
I hope you have a great day. Kathy Boren says, go Hounds. Yes, go Hounds. Jen Buchan, happy Friday. Have a great weekend. You too, Jen. I hope it's a spectacular weekend for you. Rob Robinson, good morning, Heidi. And then he's gotten really crafty with a little, it doesn't look that way on my thing. It's like a little mechanical smiley face. It's kind of cool. Awesome. You have a great weekend, Rob. Nice to hear from you. Tracy Faye, bikini weather Canadian style. If I were in Toronto, I'd already be on a patio. Rob comes back to say the poll on your website is a little concerning. Which one is that?
That is the, what one is
Democracy Archives.
Oh, I can't remember what the question was. Was it, I think it was both. Oh, do you agree with, are you going to wear your masks? Continue, like after the 21st or something?
Okay.
And a lot of them say they are.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's okay.
53%.
You know, we talked about this yesterday. I mean, unless you're wearing safety goggles as well, I mean, I guess you increase your safety level somewhat, but it can still enter in through your eyes. Stop nudging me, Mike. I'm on it. Marilyn Dunn says, might make life easier if I remember to stop by Nissan and get my English manual for a car. Yes. Yeah, and then Rob confirms, how many will still wear masks? Well, you know, to each their own, and if you want to wear a mask, and we've been, a lot of people have really, really taken in the scare factor, and I'm not saying that there wasn't a cause for concern, but I think the impact will linger, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, 7 days.
Okay, let's go to the 7 day. As I said, we have some really good news as far as temperatures go.
Woo.
We're bumping those temperatures up, and they're going to continue to bump up over past the 7 day. That's the big thing. We could start seeing a little bit of meltage going on next week. We also have some rain coming. Shrinkage? Meltage? Coming next week. We could lose a little bit of our snowpack, so it's looking good. Also, we have a little bit of a sad note to tell you. Jacob Moore, we just saw, right? He's on his way out. He's leaving us for Milton. We're going to miss you, Jacob. We still got another week with Jacob, so we're not going to say our goodbyes, but we're just going to acknowledge that he's leaving us. You know, so he's got 2 more shows left with 705 Sports here. He's going to continue the 705 Sports. I don't know if he's going to call it 705 Sports now. I guess you can't. He's going to do it on his own podcast type thing from Milton. He's going to be back and forth. He's going to, keep us abreast of what's going on with the Greyhounds and whatnot. But we really do wish him well in Milton, a new position at Cogeco. So.
Well, I have yet to accept his resignation.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, on that note.
All right. That's all the time we have for you today. It's been a jam-packed week. We will be back Monday morning at 8 a.m. to continue to tell you stories of local and international intrigue. Until then, have a great weekend. We're looking forward to a nice week next week. Remember, we are the Sioux's only local news show, so do your part. Like, follow, share. Let's get the viewership up, and we remain so grateful for the loyal followers that we already have. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
First Local, supported by Maker North, 3D printing, laser cutting, 3D design, education, prototyping, and more. Maker North, whatever it takes.
It's Jake Moore, sports analyst, back in the On TV studios, letting you know that 705 Sports now has 2 shows a week. We still have the 705 Sports that airs every Friday at noon, but we've expanded to now have a show every Wednesday. 705 Sports Headlines will be a show that is much more condensed, that is very fast-paced, going over the main topics of the week in sports. 705 Sports on Fridays will still cover everything in sports in a full show format. This gives you a chance to really see what's going on in the sports world, whether you have a couple minutes or you got a half an hour. So make sure you join me, Dan Gray, on Fridays and multiple different guests every Wednesday, every Friday at noon, only on TV and Sioux Online's Facebook page.